In this video, we are going to discuss the invisible trap that costs smart students their scores. Yes. Have you ever finished reading a self passage and thought, I understood every word, then you answered the question, and somehow you still got it wrong? Not because of vocabulary, not because of grammar, not because the passage was difficult, but because self tricked your brain. And today I'm going to show you one of the most dangerous reading traps in the entire self exam. And here's the scary part. The better your English is, the more likely you are to fall into this trap. Sounds strange, right? Let's find out why. Imagine I ask you this one. What is the capital city of France? Immediately your brain says Paris. Easy, done. Your brain loves quick answers. It loves shortcuts. It loves certainty. And self knows this. So, what does self do here? It creates answer choices that look correct at first glance. Your brain sees something similar and instantly says, that's it. But the correct answer is often hiding behind one tiny detail that most people ignore. So today we are going to see this happen in real time, okay? Imagine your timer is running. You are in the actual CELPIP exam. No pauses, no rewinding, no second chances. Here is your passage. For many years, the city of Brookdale struggled with increasing traffic congestion in its downtown area. During peak hours, commuters often spend considerable amounts of time sitting in traffic, resulting in frustration, increased fuel consumption, and higher levels of air pollution. In response to these challenges, city officials introduced a new transportation invite aimed at encouraging residents to use public transit more frequently. The program included discounted monthly transit passes, expanded bus routes, and additional park and ride facilities located near major highways. Initially, the program received mixed reactions from residents. Some welcomed the initiative, believing it would provide a practical alternative to driving. Others remained skeptical, arguing that public transportation would never be as convenient as personal vehicles. After 1 year, city officials released a report evaluating the program's effectiveness. According to the report, public transit usage increased by nearly 20%, while average commuting times decreased modestly. Air quality measurements also showed slight improvements compared to previous years. Despite these positive outcomes, officials acknowledged that traffic congestion had not been eliminated entirely. However, they emphasized that the program represented a meaningful step toward addressing a long standing problem rather than a complete solution. So, this is the passage. Okay, if you want, you can just pause it and you can read it for yourself and you can understand. And let's move on to the question here. What conclusion did city officials reach after reviewing the program? You have four options. Option A, traffic congestion was completely eliminated. Option B, the initiative showed positive results but did not fully solve the problem. Option C, residents preferred personal vehicles over public transportation. And option D, the transit program should be cancelled and replaced. Now, don't answer yet. Okay, I want you to think like most self-help students. Most students immediately look for keywords. Let's see what happens. Okay, if you see the option A, traffic congestion was completely eliminated. Interesting. The passage talks about congestion. The passage talks about improvements. The passage talks about reduced commuting times. This answer feels good. It feels comfortable. It feels logical. But let's zoom in. Look at the dangerous word completely. Did the passage say completely? No. In fact, the passage says traffic congestion had not been eliminated entirely. So the answer does the exact opposite here. One word destroys the entire option. And this is where thousands of self points disappear every year. Let me give you the first secret. One wrong word can kill an answer. Students often ask, Sir, 90% of the answer looks correct. Why is it wrong? Because self-help doesn't grade answers like teachers grade essays. It's not about being mostly correct. It's about being completely correct. One wrong detail, game over. Okay? And if you look for the option C here, residents preferred personal vehicles over public transportation. Now, this is also interesting. The passage says some people remained skeptical, some people believed cars were more convenient. That sounds similar. But wait, the question asks what the conclusion did city officials reach? Not what residents believed, not what skeptical people thought, not public opinion, right? It's about the city officials, different focus. So this one is the wrong answer. You can eliminate it. And option D, the transit program should be cancelled and replaced. Sounds dramatic, sounds serious, sounds important, but was it mentioned there? Not even once. This answer came out of nowhere. Easy elimination gone. So option B is the right option. So we will verify this again if you want. Transit usage increased, positive result, right? Commuting times improved. Again, that's a positive result. And in the passage, it is mentioned air quality improved, right? That's again a positive result. But traffic congestion remained. That means problem not fully solved, which is given here in part B. But traffic congestion remained. So the problem not fully solved, right? That's what mentioned in the passage. The same is given here also, but did not fully solve the problem. So everything matches, every detail fits here. This answer survives. Now let me tell you the shocking part. Most students don't get option B because they understand the passage better. They get option B because they eliminate better. Read it again. Band 10 readers are not necessarily faster readers. They are better eliminators. Okay, they treat answer choices like suspects in a crime investigation. Every option enters the interrogation room. Every option gets questioned. Every option must prove itself. Most options fail. One survives. That survivor becomes the answer. Okay? Now, let me tell you something that very few self-help teachers explain. Exam writers do not start with wrong answers, they start with the correct answer. Then they ask themselves, how can we make students choose something else? And that's where traps are born. They add extreme words, half truths, wrong focus, wrong timeline, wrong person, wrong cause, wrong result. Suddenly, an answer looks correct. Got it? But that's not the truth. Okay? Whenever you read a CELPIP answer choice, you have to ask yourself which word is doing the most work. For example, always, never, entirely, completely, all, only, must, every. So these words are very, very dangerous. These words often hide the trap, and CELPIP absolutely loves them. Okay, so from today onwards, stop asking what is the correct answer. Start asking what is wrong with each answer. That one mindset shift can completely transform your self-help reading score. Because self-help is rarely a game of finding, it's a game of eliminating. And the student who eliminates best usually scores best. If this lesson changed the way you think about self-help reading, then congratulations. You are no longer reading like a test taker. You are starting to read like an examiner. And trust me, that's where the high score begins. That's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more self-help tips. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.